Providence. The main draw guy. Goalies will touch up first. James Corasaniti, the reigning Big East goalie of the year, heads to his respective end for Providence, and the second-year starter, senior Christian Barnard, on the other end for the Crimson. Corasaniti allowing just 10.5 goals per game this year. Providence has a long legacy of great goalies. Corasaniti, the reigning Big East goalie of the year. Bergdorf, before him, was an all-conference goalie, and Tate Boyce, before him, was an All-American.
That's a big ground ball by Dearth off the first face-off. Harvard gets the first possession, gets the first opportunity. Here's Miles Botkus right in the substitution area. A step on the defender, shoots for the far pipe. That's just a great shot by the sophomore.
18 goals a year ago for the Delaware native, and has his first of 2024. Battle for the face-off, and this time it's going to be won by Providence, picked up by Owen Finetto. Then he gets crushed right at the center logo. And a holding call against the Crimson will give it back over to the Friars.
21, Greg Campisi has been on the win. Big start to the game for number 15. You see, just given too much of a cushion with the short stick playing close to the GLE. That's a tough ask.
Good patience by Providence on that attack, too. Degennaro scoops it forward, wins it clean. Dishes it off to King. Clean win on the faceoff that time for the junior from Long Island. 31 goals for the Baltimore native a year ago. He was all Ivy League second team. Career goal number 57 for Sam King. Another faceoff win by Degennaro. He's been really strong out of the gates of the X.
And I think this is really important. They
have been hammering on it ever since, every single practice, and that's what they want to do all season long. And so far it seems to be paying off through their first 2 games against Holy Cross and Bryant. Friars up to 93% on clears so far. Coach had 3 words when we asked about it. Don't jinx it. Harvard was a top 3 ride in the country last season, and Coach Benson wants to see his team's success carry over today against Harvard. And that last one on the scoreboard for Providence was the exact result of a good clear, guys.
Thank you very much, Jess. Yeah, transition offense. Jack Horgan ended up getting the goal. It was ruled a goal officially on the field. So
you can see everyone's moving for that Harvard offense. Openings everywhere. They just find the finisher, and he does his job.
4 points in 8 games for Blake a year ago. Another clean face-off win for Degennaro, who wins the race to it. Tough bounce pass, but it's gobbled up by Malone. Harvard again.
To catch, players open, the defense just can't get there in time. 2 goals in the last 1 minute by Blake.
And Adam, that's really a perfect example of what Coach Byrne talked with us earlier this week about why the Harvard ride is so successful. It's not just the defenders, it's not just the defensive midfielders, it's not just the attackmen, it's everybody playing a role.
Everyone's moving. It's 10 people all at once. You love it.
Played just 1 game a year ago, missed the rest of the season due to injury, so certainly a welcome return to get him back in the lineup. Guy who's got almost 40 points over the course of his career. Added depth in the midfield. Another face-off win. Degennaro looked like he was trying to shoot. Well, as you said, the weather may be cold, but the offenses are on fire. 8 goals total already here in the first quarter. We still got 2:16 left in it. This one's swept back by Degennaro in the direction of the Harvard defense. It'll be picked up by Martin Nelson, the Minnesota native. The big man lumbers forward, falling down, and a flag will come in. Looked like he was thinking shot, and then at 5 goals a year ago, converts his first career man-up goal. And again, a face-off win clean from Degennaro in the final minute. Harvard looking to get that 2-goal lead restored here.
A couple pro championships. You have great exposure. This was a huge hire for Providence, and this is great offense to watch.
One of his 2 years at Maryland, they led the nation in assists with over 11 per game. So having 8 per game so far for Providence, off to a good start. Tom Fegley, the new faceoff man, gets the win for the Friars. Faceoff had been a strength early on for Harvard, but Fegley
making the most of every opportunity to get better.
Talking with his all-conference midfielder Michael Chabra, who had the turnover. Just saying, keep a hold on it, take care of the ball. Fegley and Degennaro battle for it. Wingers joining in the pile as well. It Just fought for and won for by the Crimson. Dearth coming out of the pile with it. Chugs it on forward. Dearth winds, dishes. Blake, a juggling shot. Did it go over the line? No. Oh, Blake thought he was going to get a bounce in his 4th goal of the day, but Corasanini kept it out.
Programs are talking about and revving up their schedules. It shows the importance of every single game on the schedule, not just the Big East games for Providence and not just the Ivy League games for Harvard.
Clean face-off win for Tom Fegley. So Providence going to start the climb back here with a face-off win. See if they can find a way to snap this 4-0 run. Here's Chris Cusalito. Settling down the offense for the Friars. Oregon around the back for Joseph. But pretty much the same group almost the entire time for Providence. They haven't made too many changes in the midfield groupings. That pass too tall. Joseph Curry very good today. Harvard really setting the tone on the defensive end. Jess Todd had a chance to listen in to that last huddle. Jerry Byrne talking about how his defense has really been able to set the tone. And that ride, starting with the attackman, and the faceoff has been successful as well. Degennaro scores! The 2nd career goal for Andrew Degennaro. We said he doesn't call his number a lot. He called it right there.
Degennaro must have had a great offseason. He's already got 2 shots in today's game. Changes planes, you can see that, shoots to the far pipe. He is excited. You love to see that. First game of the season. You see some youngsters on the field all over. You saw Sean Jordan on the wing there, number 52. Harvard's really reaching into the depth that they built through recruiting. And up 10-4, it's going to be an exciting close to this first half.
6-0 run right now for the Crimson. A lot of the talk in the offseason, especially with the Harvard recruiting class, was they brought in 2 face-off specialists, 2 highly recruited face-off specialists. You wonder if that sort of fueled Degennaro's offseason a little bit.
Let's be honest, in the world of lacrosse now, there's a lot of social media. Everybody kind of knows what's going on, and when you're seeing players coming in at your position, you know there's competition, especially with the vibe and the hope and the energy that Coach Byrne has brought here to Cambridge. Well, tougher, a lot tougher to cover the shooter.
Second Harvard player with a hat trick today as Malone joins Grant Blake, who had all 3 of his in the first quarter. Ip has 2, King has 2 to go along with 4 assists. And I don't think you could have drawn up a better offensive start if you were the Harvard coaching staff.
To your point, this is how Harvard is going to have to play to be successful. A lot of proven leadership and points in that position. It's going to be a great second half, Ben.
Degennaro, Tom Fegley to take the face-off to start the second half. Degennaro's had himself a heck of a day. He was the main face-off guy last year for Harvard, but he's over 60% with the face-offs today. Loses the first one of the third quarter to Fegley, and then Nelson digging away, and an early turnover caused by the Crimson. This one's still up for grabs. Another ground ball taken in by Harvard, and as we send it down to our sideline reporter, Jess Todd, who checked in with both staffs for what to look for in the second half.
Well, Ben, I had a chance to catch up with both head coaches.
Olenek just is on his own. He's on an island, and that's a tough spot.
6 points in the first half. Sam King wastes no time in picking up a goal to start the second half. And you heard what Jess just said from Coach Jerry Byrne, looking for that complete 60-minute effort. Does not want his team to lay back here.
It was really putting on a clinic today as far as how to shoot, where to shoot, and being deceptive.
We talked about this young Harvard attack, the growth they would have to take this year for the Crimson to get to where they wanted to be. Harvard has 13 goals. A senior hasn't scored yet.
It's pretty incredible as we watch taking away one, in my opinion.
So, 2 career.
About this early on, when you give Sam King his hands free behind the goal, you're almost giving Harvard an extra player instead of taking away one, in my opinion.
So 2 career high marks in one play. Sam King ties a career high with his 5th assist. Teddy Malone sets a new career high with 5 goals. He had 2 games last year, including in an Ivy League battle against Dartmouth.
But the coaches love it, the fans, the parents love it.
I ask you, when a goalie scores, how much does that fire up a team?
I think it's incredible. The teammates love it, the coaches love it, the fans, the parents love it. It's like returning a punt in football. It's so rare. It's even rarer than that. You just love to see it. The enthusiasm and the energy it creates.
Well, it has been that kind of special day for Harvard's offense. Everybody, including the
goalie's out of the cage. I don't think it gets any easier than that for Graham Blake.
Well, he scored 3 in the first quarter, was held silent in the second, and has come back to life here in the third. Face-off win by Degennaro. Dishes to King, and he will settle it down again.
Growth spurt. He came into his own, made the team a Chaminade, and the rest is history. Coach Burns said a big lesson he learned from his mom and brother through that experience was to keep putting yourself in tough situations and fighting through. It's such a big moment for character growth and learning.
Number 41 is now between the pipes.
Tough day for Corsiniti. Reigning Big East goalie of the year, and hard to look back and say that, you know, there were a couple that he could have or should have had, and Harvard got just a 18-6. Face-off battle won by the Friars there. And a little extra from Matt Barraco. Another highly touted face-off guy, new to the mix for the Crimson. He commits the penalty overzealous after he had lost the battle there. And so Providence will go back. Now for the second time in as many years, Harvard goes 20 spot in the season opener. Again, they scored 21 in a losing effort last year on the road in Charlottesville against UVA. #1 team in the country. Today, not only do they put on the show offensively, but they have held
right spots, which has got to scare the upcoming teams they have to deal with.
Going to be interesting to see what sort of the broader perspective is coming out of this one. The battle for the face-off continues here. Officials holding the wingers out for a moment.
I think you're right, Ben. I think both teams are going to be playing teams that might challenge them a little more physically and also on the IQ level. What will Harvard do when they draw quicker slides? And what will they do when on a one-on-one level they're going to struggle?
Cheer for Providence as Collins exits. Looks like that is Eddie Perry, the sophomore, who is taking over.
Harvard Crimson unassisted goal scored by number 42, Mcconnaughey. Time of the goal, 40 minutes.
Loose ball right in the middle of the field. This is a toughness, this is an effort. Harvard comes up with it. They're going to push and see what they can do.
Again, they have not put on the brakes, tapping the invisible watch on the wrist. I think he's telling his team with 2.5 to go, it's maybe time to just take care of the ball and wind out the clock here. Now Whistle and Bobby Benson going to take a timeout, I believe, just to get the subs in. So see this in basketball sometimes. Not necessarily a timeout to huddle up, but a timeout just to get the substitute.